Navigating leaving a high control religion is very challenging. I mean, it's probably one of the most isolating experiences, one of the most isolating things that you will ever have to do because it's all on you. It's your decision. You're the one deciding that you want to leave. Your family, your friends will probably be against that decision. So, what tools can an individual actually use to make this process easier? A hobby. I know it sounds so ridiculous, and in most of my videos, I always mention this: get a hobby. Get a hobby is going to help you in this journey of leaving a high control religion and establishing a new life. But in today's video, I truly want to unpack the details, the specifics as to why a hobby can really make this process much more easier. Let's talk about it. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. My name is Monica for those who are new, and if you are a returning Sabi, welcome back. I welcome you all to the other side with Monica, a safe space we have created here on the internet for individuals who are navigating life after a high control religion and trying to establish a new life, a new era for themselves. The journey can be very challenging, however, it is one that is rewarding. And in today's video, we're going to unpack how a hobby can really make this easier. But firstly, in the comment section, let me know where you're watching this video from, guys. Like, our community is truly growing, and I would love to know where you are watching this video from. I'm based in South Africa, Pretoria. Where are you based? So for today's video, I want to unpack 5 points. And the first point is having a hobby is going to help you build a community. So when you decide that, okay, I want to leave a high control religion, don't just up and go. Don't just burn bridges without a strategy, without a plan, because it can really have you destabilized, especially if you are financially dependent on people who are part of the high control religion, or you have all of your friends, your community that is part of that high control religion. You really have to be strategic, and having a hobby can really help with that strategy, because a hobby can help you to build a community. For example, if you want to get into running, and you decide to join a running club, you're going to meet so many like-minded people who value running, exercising, their health, living a life that is one centered around nutrition and just being healthy, for example. So that's one example I can give you of how a hobby can help you to build a community. Maybe you decide to join a knitting class. You're going to meet like-minded people there who are into knitting. Maybe you decided, hey, I want to get into I almost said kung fu. Wow. Wow, Monica. Maybe you want to get into doing karate. Like, you're going to meet more people there who are into the martial arts, if that's what it's called. But either way, a hobby can really help you to build community. So be very strategic when you're thinking about, okay, this religion definitely is not aligned with me and I think I want to leave. Let me find a hobby that I can start, putting my energy into, where I can meet like-minded people who share the same values or the same interests as me, build new connections, possibly make new friends. And when I do decide to leave, I have a community that's already outside of this religion. So I will not feel so alone. I will not be so isolated, because when you do decide to leave, you will go through a period of isolation. And that period of isolation is actually very important. Do not run away from it. That's where you're going to unpack everything that did not resonate with you when it came to that religion. That's where you're going to see, okay, I did not like these rules. I did not like these policies. I didn't like this about myself when I was part of this religion. This is what I would love to change. This is what I would love to work on when it comes to myself. Whatever the case may be, the isolation process or the isolation period is very important for you to just sit there with your thoughts and basically heal from whatever it is that you have gone through. But the hobby at the end of the day is still very much important, because you're going to build community. So while you're going through that isolation phase, you can still go in and out of it by hanging out with your new friends or hanging out with the people who are part of your hobby and who are going to introduce you to more people. And in today's video, I really want to drive that messaging home. I really want to unpack that for you guys, so you see the importance, the value of having a hobby when you are deciding to leave a high control religion, because it's really going to help you out. Let me know in the comment section if you have any hobbies, things that you are currently doing. I actually want to get into coloring. I know, sounds so silly, but the idea of just sitting down and coloring just speaks to my inner child. I used to love coloring, hence I love makeup, and that's a hobby I really want to get into. But in the comment section, let us know what hobbies that you are into or hobbies that you are thinking of getting into. And this brings me to my second point. Having a hobby can really help you to shape and change your world view. You're going to have a paradigm shift when you decide to leave that high control religion. And this is inevitable because when you're part of a certain world with certain people and sharing a similar reality, you all share the same worldview. For example, everyone who's not part of that religion is evil. Everyone who's not part of that religion should not be trusted. You know, you have a very specific worldview. And we know that high control religions really instill this black and white view when it comes to the world. Like things are very much evil or right. Things are very much the devil or influenced by the devil and godly. Like it's just so black and white. But when you start having a hobby and you introduce new people into your life, people who have nothing to do with that religion, it is going to shape your worldview. And when you decide to leave that religion and spend more time with the new friends that you've made, you're going to have a new paradigm. You're going to have a new perspective when it comes to the world. And the hobby is actually going to help you with that because through the hobby, you're going to meet these people. And changing your worldview is honestly scary. It's exciting, it's different, and you have to really learn to trust yourself. You really have to build confidence in yourself and to know that I can carry this through. I can handle whatever it is that's going to come my way. Because guys, I remember when I left, not even before I left, while I was contemplating leaving, and just literally seeing my world view change. For example, I had a very much strict outlook when it comes to people who are queer or part of the LGBTQ plus AI community. Is it AI or A plus? I'm not sure, but yes. I'm sorry if I got the acronym wrong, but either way, I had a very much negative outlook when it came to people who were gay. I thought to myself, gay people are unnatural and God definitely did not create them to, live this type of lifestyle. But then when I was contemplating leaving, I realized that no, these thoughts, these viewpoints I have when it comes to people who are part of the LGBTQ plus community or gay people or queer people, these are thoughts that were instilled in me. These are thoughts that someone told me you should view these people like this. Because I didn't care. I still don't care what people decide to do in the bedroom, what people decide to do when it comes to their personal lives, what people decide to do within their relationships. Love whoever it is that you want to love. Like, how is that any of my business? So that's what I mean, that when you find these new hobbies and you meet new people, your worldview is going to change. You're going to meet these gay people, for example, and realize this is just a normal man, a normal woman just living their life, and we were told to fear them. Why? Because someone decided to block out the noise of the world and live a life that is authentically true to them. I should fear that? Really? Because this brings me to my third point. Having a hobby is going to build so much self-confidence in yourself, and that is also going to help you build self-trust. A hobby is something that you will need to see through. In the beginning, it's going to be difficult. You don't know how to do this thing, or maybe you haven't done it in a very long time and now you're getting back into it. So you need to train your muscle, that muscle memory. You have to train it again. So you seeing it through, meeting the friends, building connections, it's going to start building self-trust within yourself because you are seeing this thing through. And that's going to help you build confidence. And you're going to meet these people who are going to change your worldview, learning that the world definitely has different perspectives, different worldviews. the way I see my reality is completely different to how someone else experiences their own reality. And we can share points, we can share notes. I can learn from you, they can learn from you. And going through that process, going through that journey, it's building self trust within yourself, that I can trust myself, I can trust my decisions, that yes, leaving that high control religion was actually good for me because I am meeting new people, I am leading a new life. And yeah, it might be difficult. I'm going through challenges. I'm still trying to figure things out, and that's okay. Like, there's no need for us to constantly chase this idea of perfection. There is no such thing. You just have to live life authentically, and meeting new people is going to really usher you into that, to be someone who's authentic or live within your authenticity. And meeting new people, making mistakes, building friendships, ending friendships is going to help you figure out that true authentic person that you are, because you're going to see, this is what works for me, this is what doesn't actually work for me. Where do I find the middle ground? Where do I find my tribe? So finding a hobby that really resonates with you is definitely going to build that confidence and self-trust that is really going to see you through in life. And at number 4, a hobby is really going to help you get yourself out of a tough or difficult situation. A hobby can literally be the thing that helps you secure a job or build an income stream. Yeah, I told you guys, you have to be strategic when it comes to these things. For example, if you know that, you know what, I'm dependent on my parents financially, and I do want to leave this religion, but I know that they might kick me out, and at this point I don't have a job. I'm still trying to figure out maybe my education, whatever the case may be. This is obviously for someone who's maybe in their early 20s, or someone who's just very young, or just someone who's financially dependent on family or a guardian, or whoever the case may be, someone who's part of that high control religion. My advice would be, find a hobby that you can monetize. And finding a hobby that you can monetize is not so difficult in this day and age. You just have to think creatively. For example, I love coloring, and I want to get into coloring once again. I can also monetize that. There are so many channels right here on the internet, on YouTube, where people literally just record themselves. They don't even show their face. They just show themselves coloring in, and people watch those videos and they make money. Brands will reach out to you, coloring pencil brands or brands that sell crayons or marking pens, whatever the case may be. They will start to reach out to you and pay you for that content, as long as you stay consistent, as long as you invest into your craft, you can make money. So think of a hobby as a way that can help you to exit a very difficult financial situation, and maybe it can be an avenue for you to be financially stable on your own. You can think of so many hobbies that can help you. You can even leverage on the skills that you obtained while being part of the high control religion. Some of you guys are excellent public speakers. You can be MCs at weddings, MCs at parties, for example, or MCs for corporate events. Some of you know how to operate microphones, how to operate, sound systems. That is a skill that you can still monetize. Some of you guys have learned so many digital skills, especially after COVID, where now you know how to operate live streaming, you know how to operate Zoom. For example, on a professional level, that is a skill you can monetize. There are companies paying people just to manage their Zoom accounts because maybe it's a company that has a lot of online events. So I'm just trying to give you examples here, but there are so many skills out there that you can obtain from a hobby and eventually monetize, and that can help you to secure a job. I know we live in a world where capitalism is just so ingrained into everything that we do, and everyone is talking about monetizing every single thing that you do. And this is not me trying to push the narrative that your hobby needs to make you money, but I'm specifically trying to say that if you are in a position where you need to be financially stable, a hobby is an option for you to make money. Just think about it. And it can also be an avenue to secure a job. So if you're someone who's got a qualification and you're unemployed and you're looking for a job, but it's difficult Try to find a hobby that is closely related to what it is that you're trying to do and just build. You can literally add that to your CV. So, for example, if you're someone who works in social media and you want to secure a job in social media and you're looking and you're looking and you're struggling, become a content creator. Literally become a content creator, and then you can have that on your CV. Then you're not unemployed. You are a freelancer, baby. You are a freelancer. Yeah. So always look at things with that strategic eye. How can this hobby help me if I'm looking for a hobby to help me become financially stable or help me to secure a job? Be strategic, be smart about it, because definitely a hobby can help you to become financially stable. Lastly, a hobby can truly help you to heal. It can really help you heal. Sometimes a hobby can be just that moment, as I've mentioned in point two, that it can be that time where you build self trust and self confidence in yourself because you are literally going to sit there and take part in that hobby. It can be a form of therapy, and it can really help you sit there with your thoughts, help you to really unpack what it is that you have gone through. Maybe you can even meet people who you feel comfortable with, where you can share with them your journey and your experience. Like, that hobby can be the thing that actually heals you, and can also be the thing that puts you in alignment. Now, what is alignment? Because when you learn about spirituality or you get into, things that are a bit more alternative versus Christianity, for example, you learn about this concept called being in alignment. And being in alignment just means that you are doing things that are resonating with you. You're not going against yourself. You're not going against your boundaries. You're not going against your values. Being in alignment is doing the things that are helping you with your purpose, why you are actually here on this planet. Because contrary to what we were told when you were still part of high control religions, that you are here on earth to spread a message, you are here to further the word of God. No, babes, you are not here on earth to spread God's message, in my opinion. Because if God wanted a message to be spread, I feel like God could have done that himself or herself, because God is almighty, right? They have all the power. Why can't they just do it for themselves? We are here to fulfill a mission, in my personal opinion. You can share yours, of course, but we are here to fulfill a mission. We've all decided that when I come to planet Earth, I want to heal my generational trauma, for example. I want to heal my lineage, or I want to be part of the collective consciousness. I really want to help the collective to rise higher, for example. Or I'm here on Earth just to see through my dreams, my passions. I'm here on Earth just to live a good and fulfilling life. And a good and fulfilling life looks different for all of us. But being in alignment just means that I am doing that. Exactly what it is that I said that I'm going to do when I come here on planet Earth, that is living within alignment. And having a hobby can really help you to live within alignment, because a hobby is something that you enjoy, it's something that resonates with you. And figuring out what your hobbies are, what your interests are, that's you trying to find alignment. That's you trying to find the thing that is going to speak to your soul. And it just requires you to take a leap of faith and do the thing and be creative. And a hobby doesn't have to be something that you are paying for it financially. If you don't have the means, you can still do things that are free. You can still run. Running is free. You can still take up cycling. Cycling is free. And while you are taking part in these activities, you will meet like-minded people. I promise you, while you are on your little walks, for example, if you want to start doing hardcore walks as a hobby, you're going to meet other people walking on your route as well. So open yourself up to new hobbies. Hobbies can truly be the things that help you heal on this journey of navigating life after religious trauma, after religious manipulation, after religious abuse. It's very challenging to leave because of the fear that's been instilled on us and the isolation phase that we know we are going to face. But I promise you, on the other side is a life that you can't even imagine. On the other side is a huge amount of joy and love that you can't even comprehend right now. And joy and love that is not dependent on how you carry yourself in terms of your spirituality or your faith, where people just love you unconditionally, because we know that when you were part of those high control religions, the love, the joy was very much conditional on how we presented ourselves within that community. And now when you are looking for people who actually speak to you and resonate with you, you don't have to change up who you are. These people are not going to love you because of this and that. No, as you are, living within your authenticity, they are going to accept you. So open yourself up to that opportunity, open yourself up to that new life, that new era, because that's also one thing that high control religions really, really hated. They hated the concept of you pouring into yourself. If you look back at it, when we were part of high control religions, hobbies were never really encouraged, like a hobby where you are not taking your time or money and investing it into this religion, but rather into yourself. That is selfish. How could you be that selfish? Like, it really felt like that. Whereas now you have the opportunity to invest in yourself. You have the chance to really just pour into yourself. So pour into yourself and love yourself and just invest in yourself, and you will reap the rewards. I promise you that. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.